I filmed the whole video going over this, but I forgot to include the Saturday lecture. So there was a Friday lecture and then a Saturday lecture. The Friday was kind of just a session where ICT took a trade, but he didn't really say so much. So I don't really have any notes on that. They're more price action notes, and then I also do want to go over this, but I kind of want to go over this first um, before we go into the actual notes. I don't try to like teach my notes, but these are just my notes, so they're personal. They're personal to me. They're notes that I actually took. Um, and yeah, honestly, I don't really want to go over them because a lot of them are personal. You probably won't get much out of them. But he talked about first presentation a little bit more. He talked about the logic with that balanced price range, opening range gap 7% of the time. Consequence from that opening range gap will get traded to. That is a place where partials should be taken no matter what if you're in a trade. So yeah, I just want to kind of go over the price action that we had on that day when Powell spoke at 10. So originally we have this Asia range that got established. So we originally open up and we deliver and we leave this very small. We leave like a tick of price action right there. So and as well as this is a new week opening gap and in a new day opening gap. So this will be a probably strong draw in liquidity at least for this week and going into continuous weeks. So here we have here we have SMT that forms during Asia. It's a very small SMT, but then we get then we get market structure shift. Then we come back down into that fair value gap. And then here we have from this low to high, we have negative 2.5. We have a nice standard deviation right that. Their standard deviation. You'll notice how new day opening gap acts as support after that 7 p.m. hour. That's what I've kind of been noticing. After 7 p.m. hour, new day opening gap either acts as resistance or support. This first hour, we're kind of creating and establishing a dealing range. And then we draw back into that new day opening gap. Then we use that as support. So here we have London price action. London, this first fair value gap in the opening range gets used. We have from these bodies, we have negative zero point 0.5 right there. And then notice how we're respecting the volume imbalance. What is that? That's telling, that's indicative that we are in a likely sell model. And then we have here imbalance right there. It gets traded to. That could be a nice little bread and butter. And then we have this fair value gap right there. It gets respected, reclaimed. Boom. Sell stops accumulated. And here we have the 350 macro right there. Boom. Where setup's forming, we have 250, 350, and then 150. I think I had it annotated, but I didn't talk about it. And then here we have this volume imbalance right here. Boom, gets traded to 7 a.m. Here we have 8:30. 8:30. This was kind of a nice buy model up to this, just buy side liquidity there, and then we have this is a daily order block. This is the opening price of that. Now we end up drawing into right there, and then boom, we leave a breakaway gap right there. 9:30 opens, SMT forms right there. That's a little Judas swing, and then boom, we take sell side. Sell stops get taken there, and we end up repricing higher. Notice how we leave these relative equal lows. Whoa, these relative equal lows right here and then right here. This doesn't look like a clean low day, so I'm not. I'm gonna look for. We're gonna look for that because we're also in a deep premium. We'll open up in a premium. I don't have it annotated, but I'm pretty sure we still had that opening range gap that we still needed to, or not still needed to, but we still had. So we still had portions that new day opening range gap. So we are in a premium market, and we are above new day opening gap, and we have that new week opening gap and new day opening gap that will act as strong magnets on price. And then Powell spoke at 10. So that's why we kind of had this manual intervention. Damn, I can't speak right now. And then here we have the business. He talks about how this is a signature of that we're not accumulating in this BISI. If we were accumulating, then we would be kind of making 1, 2, 3, or 4 candles. How we're sharply rejecting this. We're sharply rejecting a BISI. So we're likely going to have another drive higher. Here we have equal highs that gets formed right here. And then we have SMT right there. And this is kind of just like price. When I was watching this live, I'm like, yeah, we are in a premium, so I want to see lower prices. But here we have boom. And then now I'm kind of like, we could displace lower, but normally or most of the time we'll establish an intermediate term high, and we will take some time to deliver that. So sometimes when I get a draw on liquidity, I get pretty antsy that we're gonna go to this draw on liquidity. I don't know why I'm talking like this. We're gonna go to this draw on liquidity right now. So we're accumulating. We're not accumulating. We're sharply rejecting this busy. And boom, intermediate term high with SMT in a premium event horizon PDRA, which is the midpoint, or it's the 25% and 75% quadrants of any new day opening gap to new day opening gap, or new week opening gap to new day opening gap. It doesn't have to be just new week opening gap to new week opening gap, which in the past when he's talked about event horizon, he's talked about new week opening gap to new week opening gap. So here we have SMT gets formed, fair value gap in, fair value gap out. Here we have boom, change of state delivery. Order block is validated right there. You have constant encroachment of this wick is getting respected with this imbalance with that order block. Boom, 3 PDRAs right there. And then we see this. And then I had this annotated as a reclaimed SIBI, but in his lecture today, he was talking about how this wasn't a reclaimed SIBI, so that was my bad. I'm gonna rewatch that for sure, and then I'll do the. I usually like to watch them 2 times before I do this mentorship, where I do my journal. So yeah, then we have this reclaimed SIBI that gets perfectly respected, constant encroachment, and then we displace that new week opening gap. But look at that delivery, new week opening gap, and then we were still leaving portion of that. So this is unfinished business that we still need to draw down into. I was expecting it to draw lower, but always take some part of that trade off before that, and then we leave that 1050 macro. What does it do? Spools higher, 1050 macro. Reversal, 1130 starts lunch macro, and then boom, we take buy side. Also within this imbalance, look at this. Look at the bodies right there. Look at the bodies. And then here, there's a lower time frame change of state delivery that gets respected right there. Also, probably a lower time frame fair value gap that gets respected. And then we see displacement, imbalance right there. Kind of just accumulating. Not as fast of a move here. And then here at 1250, we're trading into that new week opening gap. Look at the bodies before imbalance price range. And then we're seeking buy side. And then now we're in a buy program. So after trading into that, this is the PM session. We're accumulating, we're generating smooth highs that we're dropping down in this 15-minute BISI. Look at constant encroachment, fair value gap in, fair value gap out, trading right to that new day opening gap. Notice here, we're creating a fair value gap and imbalance above this premium high here. We're respecting that. Where can we trade to past that? Right here. So from here to there, that could be a nice move. Although we're in a premium, wouldn't trade it, but it's just something to look at to see the delivery of price. And boom, new day opening gap. We trade back down to first presentation fair value gap. Look at the low, beautiful delivery. Fair value gap in, fair value gap out. That gets respected, and then we'll go down into that on 5 seconds because that was a good price action. Here's the 15 second at 8:30. We had a nice buy program there, and then here is that 10 o'clock window. So here we have those relative equal highs. We're dropping down into this imbalance right there. Notice this imbalance right there. It gets reclaimed right there. And then here's that 1 minute imbalance. Buy side taken. Here's that order block. We have that imbalance gets traded to. Another fair value gap, breakaway. And then we seek lower prices. Here's that lunch hour right here, accumulation, manipulation, lower time resist D, lower time frame fair value gap. Boom. The breakaway gap gets traded to on the lower time frame. So we don't even need to go back up in there because lower time frame trading into that. And here we have this portion of the imbalance that I'm marking. Right there, boom. Sorry, this was the 1 minute. This was the 1 minute fair value gap. There, traded into, and then we seek lower prices. All this is happening above true day open. So what are we? We're within a premium. And there's that chart. And I want to go over the end of day, and that could be a wrap because I went over the notes. I made sure to go over the notes this time. And here we have the end of the day. We have this is very nice price action. We have a sell model into a buy model right here. We have a change of state delivery. We're trading back down into an imbalance right there. What is this? Failure swing, projection, -5. Very nice. Very nice. 345, ending that macro, starting a new one, trading right into this imbalance right there. Where's 350? 350 is right here, and that's the liquidity injection or volatility injection right there, and then we're trading above here, coming back down right into there, imbalance with this wick. It might be constant encroachment, and then boom, up to buy side. Very nice. And then look at this nice liquidity void, gets respected. Volume balance with order block. Sorry, no, this would be the order block. Well, technically this would be the propulsion right there, and then up to buy side right there. So very nice delivery within this last hour macro. And here's just right before where trade, we have these equal highs, balance price range is formed. That gets respected. Boom, boom. And look at these imbalances that are getting respected. Very nice delivery. And overall, just pretty nice price action. I've been liking the mentorship, and it's really kind of expanded my view on price action. Able to see Asia London session a little bit better, and yeah, that's really all I got for this journal. Again, these are just my journals. Hopefully, y'all have a good one, and I will see y'all in the next one.